Hey, hello, and welcome back. I'm down in my basement here where it's really cool. We've been having 105-degree days outside, and that's curtailed my working on those old machine tools in the driveway a little bit. So I'm kind of slowing down there and doing some other things here and there. But I'm down here, and I've got that boring board that I made in the last video, and let's have a look at it on the surface plate. Do just a quick inspection and see where we're at with it right now. Okay, here we go. Down here, I got a little surface plate here and some very basic tools. Let's see if we can get this hooked up. Something like that. And I hope you're all doing well and staying cool. I gotta watch my little dog to make sure she doesn't get dehydrated and too hot. Okay, got the most basic tools here. Got, let's get that out of here. Here's the boring board here. And I cleaned it up. I'm going to have to put it back in the tool grinder and touch all these edges. A little bit of brass over the top here and stuff that'll clean off. But I got it shaped pretty good. Real nice, I think. So let's get it in here and inspect the angles. I'll put it in this V-block. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do is find center. Okay, bring a little surface gauge around here, and we're going to look and see if I can get that right on center. That looks pretty good. I'm going to bring this rule over here and set it on a number for reference. Just like that. Okay, set that back here. Okay. Let's bring this around now that we got it on center, and rotate this tip so it's on center. Right about on that point. Looks good. Okay. Hopefully I got a Sharpie in my pocket. I usually do. Oh, I do. That's great. Got a Sharpie here. So I'm going to go put a little ink on this. Just like that. A little bit on this side. Okay. Then we'll take this inscribe. I got that locked in. We'll take inscribe that. Right across there. Okay, now we loosen this. And let's see, which way do we want to go with that? Let's go down with the tip. Okay. We'll get that square over here. And get that scribed line at 90 using the square. I think that's pretty good. Okay. So now we can rotate this around. And we can take a vernier protractor and check the side rake here. And a little bit of snugness on there. See what we've got. That looks pretty good. Let's see here, read it. It's showing just about 92 degrees, maybe just a little bit more on that, which means it's got about 2.5 degrees side rake, and that's pretty good. I'm gonna probably finish grind it in at 3 degrees. So that's the side rake. Now if you want to check the back rake, which I put in by let me see, get this, let that drop down. You can do it this way. And let's see what that's looking at. This big old magnifier sure helps with these little tiny graduations. And it looks like just about 2.5 degrees there too. So the standard boring bars we inspected one time before only had side rake, and that's done by the height that you put the insert or the carbide. So if you lower this a little bit, then it has to rotate up to get center, see? So there, let's say it's level. So if you lowered it another 10 thousandths, it would have to rotate even more up and increase that rake angle. Okay? So this gives you control, especially on the jig boring machine, where little changes can make a big difference, and you'll have to, if you're really going for close tolerances, you just got to slow down and watch what the tool's doing. Now, another thing I wanted to point out, okay, so with a boring head and like the jig boring machine, you can't, the only way you can adjust this rake angle here is by grinding the tool. But if you put it in a lathe, you can actually reduce that rake angle like that and just raise the tool. So you got a little more flexibility doing a hole with the boring bar and a lathe. You can rotate this down and raise it, even go to negative rake, you know, for brass or something, I suppose. Okay, I think, oh, there was one more thing I was going to show, and it's kind of interesting. I'll go ahead and do that. Then we'll go out and put this in the grinder and clean it up. Then I thought it would be kind of fun to bore a hole with it, you know, make a tool. You want to see the thing work, right? Okay, I think that, oh, I got it the wrong way. Okay, here we go. That's crazy. Bear with me, I'm old. Let's see, get that back just like that. That's pretty darn good right there. Okay, now I got that up. Okay, so before I set that on a number on 10 here, okay, so come back over here. Let's raise that up and see where we're at with the tip pointing up like that, see? A little adjustment here. Okay, we get back over here, and you see it's just below a 1/2 inch, and that's what I wanted. So that means that this is a 1 inch, just below the hole. It'll do up to a 1 inch or a 1 inch hole and larger. It'll go a little smaller than 1 inch. It looks like about, oh gosh, maybe 30 thousandths or something smaller. Okay, so you can check the height here, and of course you can do things more accurately with, you know, something like a vernier height gauge with, you know, gauge blocks and all kinds of stuff. You can do stuff accurately. So this tool, you can mount it directly on a collet and it'll punch a hole just spinning. We're going to use it in an offset boring head. Okay, see you over at the cutter grinder. That's the next stop. Okay, bye. Well, hello. It's 105 degrees out here. I mean, it's cooking hot. So I'm not doing too much outside here right now. So we'll head inside and grind that carbide tool. There's a hot drill press and a hot axle, and man, it is hot too. So we'll go in here. It's a little cooler in here. I got an air conditioner. It works, but it's really loud, so I turned it off. We'll get on in here. Oh, I hope you're all staying cool today. So let's get over to the cutter grinder and start grinding that boring bar that we made from scratch. And so let's get over and look at the way I'm doing that. There's a lot of ways to do the same thing, and here I'm still dinking around with this fixture here. It's for sharpening geometric dies, and I got a tool post mounted in, and then a V-block, and here's the tool back here. So let's get back there and grind this. I'll take you around, right around here. Squeeze by the sun and hone. There we go, pretty tight in here. Oh yeah. Now that's pretty darn close. Let's see. Here's the tool here, you see. I want to make sure that that comes into focus. Let me turn this light on here. You get that camera just a little too close, I know. It's fuzzy. So I'll take and put some ink on this so we can see it grind. The carbide got just a little bit oxidized from brazing it. And it actually lost a little bit of its razor edge. But I really haven't run into problems heating carbide up and brazing it. So, okay, let's fire it up. I get that the vacuum's kind of hanging down here, but I'm going to turn it on. And we'll get that touching. It's going to roll underneath the wheel. And that way the wheel's bearing against the edge. And let's turn the grinder. Okay, we'll take that brass off first. How that's looking. Oh, it's starting to peel that surface down. And it's adding about a half a degree that I'm missing. So I'll have that full 3.5 degrees or 3 degrees sideways. Let's see how that's looking. Got to keep going. Oh, that's looking pretty nice. I'm going to go just a little bit more. Oh, yeah, that's just looking great. Okay. Here. Okay, we'll get it out of there. Now, isn't that nice? Just beautiful. That tool costs whatever that oxygen and the settling cost to braze this. This is a scrap piece of metal and a scrap carbide insert. And that is just a beautiful boring bar. Okay, now I'm going to grind this front edge and then this side edge, and then we'll get it over there in the old brown sharp milling machine and just try it out on a hole and some alloy. Okay, I will meet you over at the milling machine in a short time. Hey, good morning from Walla Walla, Washington. I tell you what, it's yesterday is 105 degrees and today's going to be 105 degrees and maybe tomorrow too. It happens here and it's kind of slowed me down a little bit, so if you haven't seen as much of me, it's because the weather is slowing me, and particularly my little dog. You know, she doesn't like the real hot weather, so I got to watch her, make sure she doesn't get a heat stroke or anything. But I hope you're all doing good, drinking water and staying out of the sun and keeping cool in general. Well, anyway, I did get that boring bar ground up. Here it is here. Ooh, real nice. So let's put it in this old brown and sharp milling machine and punch a hole with it, okay? And I can show you a few things along the way. Some I've showed before, but might need a fresh up course there. Okay. I'll get you hooked up here. Okay, right around like that. Let's see if I can get that hook on without dropping the camera. How we looking? I think that's pretty good. Yeah, see? Yeah, that should be good. I might have to move you in closer for part of this. Excuse me. Okay, drink of tea here. And we'll get this thing installed. So, what I did, I put a little dot right there with a tiny center drill right at about the end of that arrow on the y-axis. I got the hole lined up using that coax indicator for fun, and it worked pretty good. And so I'm going to use that dot that is aligned with the y-axis to align the tool. So let's do that. So the first thing you do is we'll rotate the head so the dial's to the back. Okay? Then you put a square on the column of the machine and bring it to the head like that. Now if you have a round head, you can bring it down lower on that flatter spot there. Okay? So we got that pretty good. Now we're going to put the tool facing us because that's the way it feeds. Get that thing in there. Look at the air pressure. The tool is 2 10,000ths under the bore size. I didn't actually do that on purpose. Okay, so let me get something around that other side, and I think it's this one here, and I can make sure the tool don't fall out on me. There we go. Right there. Okay. I gotta raise the knee a bunch. Okay, now I'm gonna back the axis up right to there. I'm going to move you closer and hopefully you can see exactly what I'm doing. Let's see, rotate like that. How's that looking? I think that's pretty good. Okay. Right there is a little tiny dot I made with just the tip of the center drill. I got the head square with the column. Check it again, nice and square. Okay, now I'm going to lower the tool, back up a little bit. Let's see, get the right tool here. It's this one. Into the bar locking place, and I'm going to bring that tip right to that dot. I'm going to crank it down a little bit. Okay. Got it. I'll get the tool nice and snug. I'm going to go ahead and rotate it around now. Okay. Okay, now that tool's on center. Now I'm going to return to the hole. So I get right back on my mark. Right there. All looks good. Lock things up. There's the tool. Looks pretty good. Okay, let's make a cut. I'll back it up. Okay, we're contacting. So I'm going to feed it down. Let's take, about 15 thousandths depth. Right about there, I guess. Just want to watch it cut. And I'm going to lock this gib here. Okay. And get some lube in there. Some of my wax lube. And we'll find a speed. I'm going to try that. It'll be somewhere around 1,000. This a high-speed head, so it gears it up. Get her in gear. All looks good. Okay, here we go. I say it doesn't look too bad. I'll crank it out here. Not too bad. I think I need a little bit more radius on that tool. So I think I'll do that, but it punched a nice hole. Let's see. A little more radius, I think. So that's the tool made from scratch at little or no cost. Isn't that nice? It's a beauty. Now I'm going to go ahead and make 2 more of these. Now that I'm set up and everything, I can just go ahead and whip out a couple more of these pretty quick. A couple of just a little bit longer ones, inch longer steps. And that should cover a lot of stuff I want to do on this machine. So I will do more stuff and get back on that paint too. And I decided on Massey Ferguson gray for the drill press. Okay, back after a while.